Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Plaid Couch. We will be reading some Reddit stories for you guys from the r/ relationship advice. My 28 female husband, 38 male, cannot comprehend how expensive a child is. How do I get through to him? Hi, I want to be a mom more than anything. I am the breadwinner in our household, $55K a year. And my husband makes significantly less than me, $30K a year. I know money isn't everything, and I certainly don't bring in a lot of money, but I am ready to be a mom, and the only thing holding me back is my husband's refusal to look for a better job. He is smart and competent, but for some reason, he thinks we can raise a child in Chicago on $85K a year. We don't even make enough to have a robust savings account. I feel like our relationship is at a standstill because of this. And my heart really aches because this is the only thing standing in our way. I try to tell him all the time how expensive it is to have a baby here, even in the first year alone, not to mention the additional medical, grocery, and educational costs down the line. He thinks we can do it on our income because his family was able to do it on less in the rural Southwest with 7 kids in the 90s. But he seems to be ignoring the fact how much more expensive Chicago is overall. How can I get through to him?
I don't think you can at this point. The guy just sounds stupid.
Does he pay any of the bills? It doesn't sound like it. Like, it sounds like she just takes care of everything.
Yeah, it sounds like he just sleeps there.
Yeah, kids are expensive. Chicago alone is expensive.
Yeah.
Let alone living there and, like, raising kids there. Even a kid.
Yeah.
And $85 a year isn't, like, a lot.
Mm-mm.
It's not,
Yep.
crazy money. Especially when you're living somewhere like Chicago.
As a dual income, that's...
It is, and all that. So.
I think if the husband really wants this to happen, I think he needs to step up a little bit to help make that a reality for his wife.
Well, yeah, he's only making $30K a year. He needs to step up and find something to support her and the future family.
Yeah. Well, and granted, I'm only 26, but I couldn't imagine, being in a situation, being like, oh yeah, let's just have a kid. I don't think I'd be comfortable with that. I'd be like, I want to be able to take care of the kid if we had it.
Yeah.
I would definitely step up if I was in the situation. So I like this one down here in the comments. Put a spreadsheet of expenses. Estimate different scenarios you get on bed rest and can't work. You can't return to work right away. Child needs non-standard daycare, and he needs to be SAHD. I'm not sure what that means. And add college plans. So, even though Reddit is not really the place to
Go for advice.
There's some pretty good stuff in here. The best thing, personally, is the husband just needs to be more realistic about this.
He doesn't seem very... I hate assuming things based on these stories on Reddit, because you just never know. But he also just seems like very, like, unambitious to me.
Yeah.
And I almost wonder if, like if this woman finally caves, it's like, all right, like, I want to be a mom, whatever, we'll have a kid. Is he gonna assume the whole, like, women have to nurture thing? And I hate to, like, bring that onto this show, but it's like, I almost wonder too if it's like she's the breadwinner, now she's got to be, like, putting most of the effort into raising the kid.
Yeah.
Because he's the man of the house.
He's the man of the... Well, if
Even
he's the
though
man
he's
of the
making
house, he needs to get a
30K.
better job
But
to
that's
raise
what
his
I mean.
kid.
I'm like, if he's this delusional, I almost wonder, it's like, if she finally is like, all right, fuck it, let's just have a baby. And then I'm like, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
To then be like, because, I mean, she probably is not going to be that invested in her job if she's putting all of her effort into a kid,
Mhm.
and he's not putting in that much. And I'm not like trying to, shit on men. There are plenty of men out there who are great dads, and there are plenty of, dads who do a better job than moms out there. I don't want to do that on this show, but it's just kind of the vibe I'm getting,
Right.
and that it was stuck on my brain, and I had to get it out there. So
I think that was pretty good points.
my boyfriend, 36 male, admitted he thinks my sister, 27 female, is prettier than me, 29 female. How do I overcome this comment?
Uh-oh.
I have gone my whole life battling my jealousy of my sister. I love her and I only want her to be happy, but being the less attractive sister has stirred up so many insecurities in myself since we were young. I would be considered cute, and I don't mean that my sister is just a little bit prettier than me. I mean she is a head turner, could blend in perfectly in a Victoria's Secret fashion show, kind of stunning. Has the height, body, and face. And she gets to live an extremely thrilling life because of what being beautiful brings. Dates, luxuries, powerful and famous men. Gets spoiled with vehicles and other things. I mean, it's just night and day difference how stunning people of the world live compared to the rest of us. I have a normal life working 9 to 5, growing up being compared to that and overlooked in every aspect next to her has damaged my self-esteem beyond repair. Now, I love my boyfriend and he loves me, but he made a detrimental comment that I'm struggling to move past. We were out with a bunch of his friends I was meeting for the first time, and everyone had been drinking. I was asked about my siblings, and at some point my boyfriend loudly proclaimed, "If you guys think my name is pretty, you should see her sister." And then began showing everyone at the table photos of her Instagram, and of course everyone was in awe. I felt so small, and now knew my own boyfriend also found her more attractive than me. I brought it up afterward, and he of course backpedaled and stated he didn't mean it in that way. But it's been 2 months now, and the comment won't leave my mind. I can't escape the constant comparisons to her, and I don't think I ever will. It's exhausting. How do I overcome these insecurities?
Well, I wonder if this is how my older brother feels, knowing that I'm the more attractive sibling.
Jesus.
And I know he's watching this, so
What up, Brother Jones?
Oh my god.
but yeah, that's awkward.
I would say it's more than awkward. I think it's like insane, and it wasn't even like, because when I'm gonna pull Matthew, when I was first reading this story, the first thing I thought, like, as I was reading, I'm like, oh, she's gonna, like, straight up just ask, like, is she prettier than me? The fact that they're at a bar with his friends and being like, oh, and he brings it up, like, you think she's pretty? Check her sister out.
Oh, God.
Such a Matthew comment.
And
What?
No, I don't even think Matthew would be that shallow.
No.
Not saying you're normally shallow, but, sometimes you are a
He's
little...
like a kiddie pool. Shallow.
Sometimes Matthew's a little oblivious to things.
That's true.
But no, this is awful.
But you also got to think on the other hand. Yes, saying the younger sister is more, but they're siblings, so they're gonna share a lot of like the same
it's
qualities.
It's also I keep like bringing up women's issues on this episode, and I don't mean to do that, but
When is the best time to tell my 32 female wife, 32 female, I got stabbed? My wife is pregnant for the first time, and now that she is nearing the due date, she has been having intense mood swings. I've still been required to go into work until 3 days ago. On my last day of work before maternity leave, I had to leave my wife I had to leave my wife upset. She didn't want me to go into work that day because a few days ago, she had had a dream where I was hurt at work. This isn't the first time in her pregnancy where she's dreamed of me getting hurt at work, but the dreams aren't completely unfounded. My work is unusual and can be very dangerous at times, but I've never been hurt at work before, so I reminded her of this before heading out. Apparently, the pregnancy has given my wife the ability to see into the future because that day at work, I was stabbed in the hip. The stab wasn't too deep and should heal up fine, leaving a small scar, but it was a little scary. I came back home the next day. This isn't unusual because I work at night, and my wife told me she had a dream that I was stabbed, and I think it was a mixture of me being exhausted from the night before and slight fear from my wife's newfound seeing into the future ability that made me decide to say nothing about the stabbing. That was 3 days ago. I had decided it was best to avoid telling my wife about being stabbed, but then I told my sister all this and she was shocked. She said pregnancy hormones should never be a reason for me to keep things from my wife. She asked me when I planned on telling her, and I told her I planned to do it a few days after the birth. My sister said something along the lines of, "So you're going to tell her about this when both of you are exhausted instead?" I got mad and basically told her she didn't know anything. She's never been pregnant before, and changed the topic. My wife is anxious, emotional, tired, and constantly uncomfortable from the pregnancy. My main goal is to help her, and I don't see how telling her I got stabbed could ever make her feel better. But my sister insists honesty is always important in marriage, pregnancy, hormones, or not. I do feel guilty for keeping all this from my wife, but I just feel now is not the time. I am looking for the opinions of anyone other than my sister and anyone smarter than me. Do I tell my wife now when she's pregnant, or go with the original plan and wait until the baby comes? Does anyone know the best way to tell your wife you were stabbed and have been keeping it a secret from her? Please help.
Take it away, Jaylene.
I think you're in too deep. 3 days is too long. You got to take this shit to the grave.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Because at first I'm like, oh, just wait till the baby's born. But the sister brings up a good point. It's like, yeah, when you guys are exhausted and like you put a strain on a relationship. It's like, that's one of those things where it's just like, you just kind of don't talk about effort. You should have told her, if you were going to tell her, I think right away. And then now you're in too deep. Don't tell her.
If it's nothing too bad, I mean,
nothing wrong with, keeping information.
It's not even keeping it a secret. I've hurt myself so many times at my previous jobs where it's just, oh yeah, that happened.
Where does this person work that they just
I'm guessing they're like a bouncer or working
like
security of some kind.
Like a corrections officer or something.
Yeah.
Like stabbed with like a ballpoint pen.
That's sick.
Yeah. Because they never outright say so.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I work a corporate 9 to 5. I just imagine just casually getting stabbed at work and being like, should I tell my wife? It's like, yeah, I probably would, but that's not a normal occurrence at my job. Also, I hear that pregnant women have some gnarly dreams. Like, I don't know if you guys like associate with a lot of pregnant women. I said that really weird.
I can't say I do.
But
I riz them all up.
Tegan just looks at him and they get pregnant. And then he bounces. He's like, nope.
You can't prove it was me.
Oh shit, it happened again.
And like, I hear that they have some crazy ass dreams, like really realistic and like just insane shit. So I get it. Like, that's gotta be spooky for this person too, to be like, dude, I dreamt that you got stabbed at work. You just picture them coming home just covered in sweat. It's like, nah, work was fine.
Why can't you just have a dream about me cheating on you?
What?
But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to tell my wife if that happened.
I would just downplay it. Like, oh yeah.
I got cut at work. No big deal.
Like you said, in too deep now.
Yeah, I feel like after 3 days and she's that pregnant and that, just on edge, maybe just keep that one in lockbox. Or like bring it up in like the 10-year like wedding anniversary. Like, oh yeah, you remember that dream you had about me? I did get stabbed.
This might be going off the rails a bit, but as a guy, I will never experience having a baby in me,
Never
But-
say never.
but I can't.
We can try, Matthew.
I've thought about this many times. Like, if I were to get pregnant, what would be my craving? What would I want to eat?
I don't think you can control
During
that,
my craving.
because, yeah.
Wow, I don't know if I should say that.
Matthew's craving pussy.
I think it would be Doritos or Oreos with a glass of milk.
You say that, and then pregnant women crave like just some weird shit.
Yeah, they're like Dorito Oreos.
Yeah.
And
Dorito
just
Oreos?
Sandwich them all together. And it's like,
Tegan,
this is delicious.
what would your craving be?
Wait,
Matthew-
you can't answer that. I was
I've
on
never thought of this
I
because
was on TikTok the other day, and a girl was eating barbecue lays with vanilla ice cream.
Oh
You
my-
cannot predict your craving.
That's
No.
crazy!
And then her husband came in and took one and goes, "This is pretty good," and made himself a bowl.
That's crazy.
So no, nobody can answer that question. We have no pregnant people here.
not yet.
Yeah, we can change that.
They're not talking about me. It's that side of the couch.
We'll keep trying tonight, Matthew.
It is not my side of the couch.
We gotta practice mushroom stamping.
Yeah. If anybody is getting pregnant on this couch, I'm gonna be the last person to do so.
All right. Well, I want to thank you all for watching this episode of Plaid Couch Reads Reddit Stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and come back next week for our next video.
1 like equals $1 that will go to all of our birth control prescriptions. So hit that like button so nobody accidentally gets pregnant on this couch.
No, it won't be an accident.
Oh no.
That's-
No, Matthew.
That's pre-planned, baby.
Matthew's in trouble.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.